majority of his career as a player right here in San Jose, and is now continuing to support the growth of soccer with his work as the director of a youth soccer club in the East Bay. After a stint at the University of San Francisco, this player started his pro career as a teenager with the San Francisco Bay Blackhawks. He then played 8 seasons with the Quakes, helping them to 2 MLS Cup championships. He also scored one of the biggest goals in team history against the Miami Fusion in the 2001 MLS Cup playoffs. Recently named the NSCAA National Coach of the Year, also known as the Beast, Troy Dayak.
Hey, thank you very much for that great introduction. Johnny, that was a class act, and you always were a class act. Everything that you did for the organization and that you still do, respect goes out to you. Thank you very much. I wanted to say that I want to thank the organization, the Earthquakes organization, for inviting me to this. You fans are the reason that I'm here, that I played for myself. But I'm honored to be here with all these great past players and fans, and these present players behind us in thick jackets and shorts with big legs. Wait till you see these guys. They're huge now, man. I'm also very excited about the future players and the future fans for this organization, because I see a lot of new faces and young ones out here. I had a little kid come up and say, I caught your torn jersey right inside there when she was just 4 years old or something like that. So she's out here today and she's excited about the new generation. So that's great stuff. I was asked to also speak just a little bit about my favorite memory with the San Jose Earthquakes. And then, honestly, I just can't say that there's one, because there's been so many. From the first year, the inaugural season in 1996, when the MLS was announced that it was coming, we were so excited. We stayed right here downtown. The whole team stayed here, and we bussed just up the way, only a few miles to Spartan Stadium. And the fans had banners, they had streamers, they had hats, they had scarves, and they were screaming our names and supporting us along the way. And we went out on that Major League Soccer inaugural game, and we beat DC United for the first ever MLS game right here in Spartan Stadium. Another great memory for me, I just want to thank the organization for trading away one of their top defenders and their first-round pick from New York to get me to come here to San Jose. So I owe them for my career for being here, so thank you to the organization. Quickly here, running through, in 1998 I had a severe catastrophic injury where I collided with a goalkeeper and basically broke my neck, and I was out for 2 years from the sport that I love. Doctor said I'd never play again. When I came to a routine visit with the doctor, they told me that my fusion had healed in my neck and that I would be cleared to play. The San Jose Earthquakes organization brought me back in 2001 after being out for 2 years. I don't know if you know, but in 2001 it was a pretty damn good year. We had, not only did I sign the contract the first game the very next day, I scored a goal with my head, proving the doctors wrong, in LA against the Galaxy. And then got to come home and score a goal in front of our home crowd in Spartan Stadium the very next game, and then go on to play the Miami Fusion in what was touted as maybe each one of the teams was going to be dismantled. And you know, we played that game. It was a tough game, the players will tell you. And for some reason, I was lifted up and scored a goal in that game and helped us get through to the championship game, where we went on to beat the LA Galaxy, and the Earthquakes survived for another 4 years after that. So I appreciate that. Great effort. One game that I want to allude to, because this is where it's really all about here, is the 2003 campaign, where Johnny mentioned it. We had a game on November 9th, 2003, and that game was so important to us, to me as a player, I think to you as a fan. I've had people come up to me and say that that game has changed their life. And the reason why, you know, obviously we played the LA Galaxy, and it was a playoff game. We lost 2-0 in the Home Depot Center. We came back home on the second leg of the event. We were down 2 more goals, making it 4 goals in aggregate score in just 13 minutes into the game. To climb back out of a 4-0 deficit in any professional sport is incredible. We scored a goal just before halftime. Jeff Agu spent the ball around the wall, and we walked up, I'll never forget this, walking up that ramp at the stadium and into the locker room, I felt like, you know what, we may have a chance here. We sat in that locker room, and not one single player said a single word. It was eyes of steel, face of steel. And then I just looked up at everyone and I said, hey, did you see that the fans had at the south end of that goal, behind the goal? And I said, we believe. It's a huge, huge, huge banner. I said, I believe. I know you guys believe. We believe we can do this. Our coach came out of his coaching room, didn't have to say a damn thing. We went out there and scored a goal, another goal, and scored a third goal. And then Chris Ronaire scores a goal in the 90th minute. And then everyone in the whole stadium knew that we were going to win that game, including the LA Galaxy. And we did. And we won it 5-4, 5 unanswered goals. And that's what it's all about. This organization's about never say die. Okay? And that's the truth. I will never forget that. We went on to win the next playoff game, and then we went to the LA Galaxy's home stadium and played Chicago in the final and beat them 4-2 to claim our second national championship and bring the trophy back here to San Jose. And up in that stadium that day, I'll never forget, there was a fan still sitting there as I'm walking around with my son, who was just a baby at the time. Now he's taller than me. But I grabbed this banner from him up in the stands, maybe one of you, I don't know. And I carried it around that stadium. It still hangs in my house today. It's got a little ketchup on it still. It's got a few bite marks. But this... So I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you to the fans. We believe. Love you guys.